How do you overcome the fear of not being good enough? Throughout society, people don't think that they're enough. They just don't think that they've got enough on the ball. They think that everyone else is better than they are. Boy, those words I hear all the time in my business from people, that they're just not enough, that they just can't achieve it, that they just aren't on top of things. But that's not true. That's not true at all. And there's ways that you can overcome the fear of not being good enough and put it out of your life forever. So how do we do that? We want to talk about 5 different things on how to overcome, obliterate, and destroy the fear of not being good enough in your life. And number 1 is this: reflect on past successes, no matter how small that they are. You think, well, gosh, I don't really have any. That isn't true. What you've done is that you've taken for granted that everyone has the successes that you have. One of the things that I have faced in my life is that I think that everyone knows everything that I know. I would think, well, I don't want to say that because, they know all that. They know that stuff. Boy, those people are so much better than I am. Those people, they're just so much more likable than I am. They can actually network better than I can. They're just people that they're just neater. They're cooler. They're more together. They're more hip than I am. And that's not really true. So you reflect on your past successes, no matter how small or how large that they are, and you continually remind yourself of those past successes. And when you do, you won't have enough time to be afraid about the things that seem to be bothering you. And that brings us to number 2, and that is expose yourself to the feared activity. What are those activities that really bother you? What are the things that you don't like? What are the situations that you don't like to find yourself in? And you've actually just put yourself in a place where you stay away from all of those things because you fear that somehow, some way, that you're going to be exposed as a know-nothing and exposed as not good enough and exposed as everyone better than you. How do you handle that? You go right into the middle of it. Go right into the middle of it. Just really, really do it. Get out there and make it happen. And when you do, it's going to change everything about you, but expose yourself to it. Remember this: the giant only gets larger the more that you keep staring at him. The more that you stare at the problems get larger. But what you'll find out is that if you were really ever to meet that problem, over 90% of the things that people fear that may happen don't. They don't happen. And so expose yourself to the things that are bothering you. Get out there and you're going to find out how small that they really were, but how large they became because you continued to think about those things. So let them go. Let them go. Which brings us to the 3rd thing, and that is shift your mindset. Well, how do you shift your mindset? You don't necessarily really kind of shift what you're thinking. You're only shifting what you think about it. When I discovered that the fear of heights in most cases is not the fear of heights, it's the fear of edges. If what you did was you stepped back a few feet from the edge, you'd find out that you weren't afraid at all. The further away from the edge that you went, the less fearful that you became. And so you shifted your mindset. It's not the fear of heights. It's not. It's edges. Stay away from the edge. That doesn't mean you don't go high. That just means you stay away from the edge of things. Instead of thinking, well, I can't make enough money. I don't know that I'll ever have enough. Instead of that, just realize that you're just one introduction. You're one relationship. You're one day away from your golden ship coming in. Just shift actually the way you think about things, not necessarily shift the things that you think about, but just the way you think about them. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner. I'm not a can't do person. I am a can do person. I'm not a person who's everything about me is no until it becomes yes. No, everything about me is yes until it becomes no. How I answer in most cases when I discuss things with people is that the answer is yes. Now what is the question? And you have to know who you're doing that with, but that's a really good way of being able to handle it. Number 4 is that celebrate your successes. Celebrate the ones that you have now. Just celebrate them, no matter how small, no matter how large. Go out there and enjoy time, have a dinner, sit down with somebody and just talk about these successes that you have, no matter how small or how great that they are. And then lastly, practice. Practice at being confident. Practice at being confident all the time. I'm confident about this. I can say this. I'm confident. I can do this. I'm confident. I can do all things. I'm confident. So these are just 5 different ways that you can overcome the fear of not being good enough. And so as per usual, please don't forget to comment. I'd love for you to comment on this video, like it, like this video. I need a thumbs up from you, and then share it, and then click down there about my coaching, and you'll find out everything that you need to find out about me in the description.